Hello, everyone. How are we? What is it today? I have no idea what day it is. Thursday. It's Thursday. Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. Um, Swamped, busy. It's a never-ending story when you're employed. But I guess we are blessed, right? I am blessed. So that's how I'm going to look at it. Um, I t- found the time to come deliver my message, but I didn't have the cards that I typically have. But like any good witch, I have cards at my desk, and I'm going to try to make sense out of these cards for our message, okay? So, we have some interesting cards. We have this Creative Consciousness Healing Oracle deck that I have, and we have Wild Energy and Boundary Cloak. So, Wild Energy is saying focusing your creative power. So, now's the time to focus your on your creative power. You know, if you have an idea or something that you're working on, it's time to focus on that. And I've been saying that for some time. The boundary cloak, and you know, we all have to work on our boundaries. I'm definitely one of those, but working on our boundaries, it says gentle, loving protection. We can build and create our boundaries without being so pushy and aggressive about it. All right, we can slowly rectify and make our lives a lot more secure for ourselves without being so aggressive, right? It's baby steps. And once you realize the right method of building your boundaries, it's all smooth sailing from there. Believe me, spoken from someone who had a lot of issues with boundaries. So trust me. All right, so I have these interesting artwork cards. And the famous artist that is supplying us with some inspiration today is Paul Gauguin. Okay? So, before I read this, I wanted to read you a little text about Paul Gauguin. So, the notorious carouser Paul Gauguin once roomed with Vincent van Gogh, but after a competitive game of who's more intolerable, the two broke up forever. Gauguin then threw caution and his wife and 5 children to the wind. In search of exoticism and career makeover, he left France for Tahiti, where he settled for the native population, took young lovers for inspiration, and generously spread syphilis. In the South Seas, Gauguin upgraded his trademark post-impressionistic primitivism style. He blended daring colors, exaggerated proportions, and indulged in steamy suggestions with hints of romanticized outsider status. So he's a fucking perv, all right? Spreading syphilis to um, a population, you know, great. Typical colonizer. So his card says, go far to go far, but don't go that far. Exaggerate the subtle, share the unseen. Only an outsider sees inward. I have no idea, but tragically, that is who is there. So I guess if we're going to take any kind of message, is sometimes we can throw caution to the wind, you know, for our creative edge. I just don't suggest leaving your wife and 5 children behind to spread syphilis. But if you have a more boundaries established and, you know, better communication, you can slightly throw caution to the wind. Okay. I also have another oracle deck that says emotions, alchemy, processing, sensitivity. So there is art and magic to sensitivity and to your vulnerability. All right. Think about your emotions as a superpower. Don't get turned. Some people are like, ugh, I hate it when I cry. Oh, I get so mad and I cry. I get so upset. Don't be upset at your emotions. Our emotions, they're bells and whistles that we were created with, and they're important. All right? They help us with those boundaries. Don't, you know, learn to look at your emotions as a superpower. Once you start looking at it that way, the world is yours. So, Our tarot cards, we have the Nine of Cups, we have the Two of Wands, and the Five of Wands. So there's a wish fulfillment. We're about to receive something that we've been waiting for. We may have exactly what we need, and we don't realize that. But this wish fulfillment, this hope, this thing, this dream that we're about to realize may take us on two different like one of two paths. All right, just be mindful. One of those paths can lead to a challenge. All right, but don't get scared about that. Challenges, not all challenges are bad challenges. Why? Because at the bottom of the deck is the Emperor, right? So one of those paths is going to lead us exactly to where we need to be, where our higher self needs us to go, and for us to become who we need to become. Okay, so remember, you might be met with two options. One, not always is the challenging path is the wrong path. Sometimes we have to go through, like, certain nicks in a forest, and getting cut, and these rough roads to get where we want to go. All right, so I leave you with that. Have a good day, and I love you guys. Oh, and there's a new pope. I can't wait to see who it is, and I'm really fingers crossed that it's someone who speaks for the people.